Craig, to me, the weird part, and you touched on it, was the defiance of Callahan. The fact that he, quote, it never occurred to him to take Dwayne out. And I just don't see how you can frame it that way when everybody's sitting at home on their couch and Jason 2 feet from his TV can look and see that he's clearly struggling. Maybe it would occur to you, hey, maybe I take him out. Maybe I consider putting in Case Keenum. To say that it never occurred to him is kind of off-putting to me, the way he framed it.
It just doesn't make sense.
Yeah, it's kind of weird.
Especially, and not that Bill's thinking about this in that moment, but especially with this franchise.
Right.
We all know the thing that happened last time, right? I don't even really need to say more than that, but I will to elaborate for anyone who's not following along. There was a quarterback once named Robert Griffin III. He seemed quite promising. Things went horribly wrong. Mm-hmm. And there was obvious an issue with protection, and they're very different cases because what was going on with Robert's knee prior to the Seattle game was already a lot worse than a sprained ankle. Robert was certainly not nearly built to be as durable as Dwayne in terms of their body types and their injury histories and all that kind of stuff. So
right.
they're very different scenarios, but the scars are still real. And it made me think, too, during that game, like, this is why you have a GM, because it's someone's responsibility within an organization. And this is where, there are times where I've kind of defended the organizational structure. Not that I would ever defend Bruce, because the record is and the results and the decisions are rather indefensible from a professional just evaluation standpoint. But they fill the roles of GM with other people. But in this case, it would be Bruce to have that global view of the organization and go, this is the future. And I thought it would have been fully appropriate. Remember, Bruce does have access to Bill during games because he's in charge of the replays. He's the one who says, hey, challenge this. So whether Bruce got on the headset or at halftime went down to the locker room and said, pull him. He can't hand the ball off. We're not exposing him to potential hits like this. This is dumb. We're 3-9. I love that he wants to play. I want him to want to play, but not today. I think, I mean, I don't know what you guys think, but I think that's fully appropriate. Like, sure. Typically a GM during a game, get out of my locker room. But for a franchise quarterback, especially in this kind of season where you're 3-9, now 3-10, I think that would have been fully appropriate. And that crossed my mind during the game as well.
Joined by Craig Hoffman, covers the Redskins for 106.7 The Fan. Do you have an inkling of Callahan's brain that maybe he thought that if he pulled Haskins, that he would get blowback from either Allen and or Snyder for taking him out, even though he was clearly compromised and wasn't 100%?
No, I think that Bill, and this is, I shouldn't be as definitive because I'm speculating, but I tend to think not. I don't feel like that. If he goes, I'm protecting him and he's our future, I don't think they're going to be like, oh, how could you have upset him? I think old school in some things, and he's not with it. Dwayne's the starter. If he's capable of playing and he wants to play, he gets to play. It's like earlier in the year, like, Case is our starter. It's like, yeah, but like that's not really the whole story here. Dwayne is the starter. He should play if he's healthy. He wasn't healthy. And I understand the doctors cleared him, but they cleared him in terms of probably won't do any more structural damage. His ankle is sprained. It's not broken or whatever thing they cleared him. Like, a medical clearance is subjective. What he couldn't do was run, and he had big dudes chasing him that were trying to hit him, and being able to run away from them is kind of important.
Yeah, I mean, some guys will play on a. I mean, Josh Allen hurt his ankle yesterday, but they've got 9 wins and they're battling for the division, so he wasn't coming out of the game.
Right. Exactly.
It just didn't make sense for Dwayne to stay in there. Anyway, all right, let's get to Geis. 5 carries for 42 yards. That 23-yarder is when he injured it again. I think it was his left knee, correct? Was it his left knee?
I don't remember, to be honest.
So anyway, so he obviously comes out. He was walking around on the sideline. He was sitting on the bench, but I guess we'll find out more today. What are you hearing on that?
Haven't heard anything yet. It's been quiet on the Darius front, which is always scary. I mean, I guess
that would be really unfortunate if there was significant damage.
Yeah, I mean, and there's times they've thought they avoided it in the past. And the New England one, he thought he was fine, or at least he said he was fine. Then all of a sudden, he's not. He knew it wasn't super bad against Philly, but you wonder if it's like MCL or something like that, which would at this point, this late in the season, end his year. It stinks, man. Like, this is not like, there's some of these runs that he has, they're so violent, and we talk about it all the time, and his running style is so violent. This one was just unlucky.
Yeah.
He just got, it was an awkward tackle. A guy went
for
low
his knee,
on
yeah.
him, and it didn't hit quite right. And, it's things, though, where I wonder if in that moment, if he had, like, been able to dive forward or something like that, like, is there a way, and this is a question that I guess I'll ask Bill today, and I'd love to ask Randy, as a guy who played a long time in the league, Randy Jordan, the running backs coach, and honestly, I'll probably ask Adrian as well. Is there a way he can get tackled safer, if that makes sense? Is there a way that he, as he finishes runs, sometimes, like, there are times where, yeah, go for the extra yard, or in his case, the extra 30 yards because he breaks one more and then gets back up to speed and keeps going. But on a tackle like that coming in from the side, when he's starting to go down and he starts twisting a little bit, is there a better way to get tackled? And I know that sounds silly, but, like, he's been hurt now multiple times on those tackles. New England was the same way, where he's trying to just keep fighting. And it's like, if you just went down straight, you probably are okay. And I'm not blaming Darius. I'm wondering aloud, because he is so talented and so good and so essential to what they do in the future, that keeping him healthy and asking every question they can that results in him staying healthy is about as important as anything not named Dwayne Haskins.